I was back on the lookout for more disgusting meat when I happened to get a steer from Chef Ramsay.
What in the fuck is inside the lamb shank? And how long has that been cooked for? For a dish never to be refrigerated?
That's all chemicals, isn't it?
Chef Ramsay was getting very irate about some Australian lamb shanks. They appeared to be a clever way of passing off cheap cuts of meat as a gourmet meal and contained a fair few chemicals.
Do you feel like having a shit? Thank fuck I didn't eat it. Sugar, flavourings, colour. E150D, fuck me. I'm surprised you haven't fucking killed off half the population in Oakhampton.
Chef Ramsay had even coined a neat phrase for this phenomenon: shit in a plastic bag.
When you bought that shit in a plastic bag, you tried to...
Mr. Riley had a new inspiration: gastropub favourite, the lamb shank. As a cut, the shank is cheap, and coming from a tough muscled area, it requires a lengthy period of cooking to avoid it being completely inedible. But these Australian babies can be microwaved in just 9 minutes and can sit in a box for a year without refrigeration. Brilliant! I had a tip-off that Australian lamb shanks were on sale at a popular cash and carry.
Check that.
The reason that it wasn't me going in was because me and Booker had history.
You've got permission to film?
I've got permission to wear the suit.
You've got permission to film?
Have we got permission to film?
No.
In my last programme, I'd come up with an idea to help Booker promote their rather watery chicken breasts, but it hadn't gone according to plan. Now, I wasn't really welcome.
Oh, look at this. Australian lamb shanks.
With Australian lamb shanks in my accomplice's undercover hand, the next step was obvious. A trip to see Ian, my local food technologist.
A well-known television chef put us onto these. And the brilliant thing about this is the shelf life. Look at this. It's 1 year, and you don't actually have to put it in the freezer or even the fridge. It's room temperature.
Yeah.
Leave that. A year later, put it in the microwave. Bob's your uncle.
It's the wonders of technology. They cook it till it's more or less sterile, add the necessary preservatives, and any flavour that may have been lost in the processing, you are allowed to put back in. That's a flavour enhancer that's used specially for meat, E631.
So basically, the process to actually make this sterile so that it lasts forever is going to take the flavour out of it.
Oh yeah, but you're allowed legally to put the flavour back in.
It's falling away from the bone.
Probably here in this country, we'd say that was technology going too far. But those Aussies, bless them, you know, they've pushed it to the limit. It tastes very good.
It seemed perfectly right for Chef Ramsay to take against the Australian lamb shank. But then I remembered something about the place it was being sold.
I've opened the catalogue for Booker, and who should be in the front but celebrity chef Mr. Gordon Ramsay.
Not only was Gordon in last year's Booker catalogue, Gordon Ramsay Holdings had a consultancy agreement with Booker. With Chef Ramsay not having the best of times in the paper, and before anyone had the temerity to accuse him of hypocrisy, I thought I'd better let him know he could be on the verge of another PR disaster. I called his people.
It's Alex Riley here from the BBC, and I'd like to speak to Gordon Ramsay, please.
Well, he's actually out of the country at the moment.
I've got something that I need to tell him, basically, and I think he'd be rather interested to hear it. If you can pass on a message, it's regarding, I don't know how to say this really, shit in a bag. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Shit in a bag,
yes,
okay.
I'm sure you're used to bad language, working for Gordon Ramsay.
Little shocks me. Okay, shit in a bag.
He'll know what I mean.
Okay.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
Right, so she's passing it on to her boss, who deals with Gordon Ramsay stuff, and she's going to give us a ring back, apparently. But he's out of the country, and this shit in a bag story could blow up in his face.
Something came up. Chef Ramsay was back in town, and this was my chance to warn him that Booker, a company he promoted, was selling the very lamb shanks that he'd called shit in a bag.
Now, we're just round the corner, behind Waterstones on Piccadilly, where Gordon is supposed to be doing a book signing. I've got my Australian lamb shanks here, and I'm hoping to be able to get to him and warn him that Booker are selling these lamb shanks. You know, we're just trying to help. Hopefully he'll take what I've got to say in good part, and I know he swears a lot, but I don't think he's necessarily a violent man. I really hope not. So I'm just going to say what I'm going to say and hope that he can save himself from more embarrassment. Ooh, that could be the car parking space for his limo. So maybe we're in the best position. This could be it. This could be it. Is this him? Gordon, Alex Riley from the BBC. These Australian lamb shanks that you said were shit in a bag, they're on sale at Booker. They're on sale at Booker at the moment, and as you're the face of Booker,
can we just clarify one thing?
What?
First of all, I'm not the face of Booker.
Okay.
So what
but
did
you work
say?
for them, don't you? You do some promotion for them.
No, I don't. Clearly, we're live. I'd really appreciate if you got your facts right.
As we weren't actually live, I might as well let you know when Chef Ramsay's fact correcting was in fact incorrect.
Let me just explain. Yeah. When I first came across them, they weren't even allowed to go in the refrigeration unit.
Yeah,
the ambient
temperature. Yeah, that's right.
And it was lamb that was sourced from New Zealand.
That's Chef Ramsay's first fact-correcting error. I had the box, and it was from Australia, not New Zealand.
My embarrassment was the fact that how can you call that freshly cooked? Okay, that doesn't even sit. Exactly. Can I just finish my sentence, please?
Yeah.
Doesn't even sit in a fridge.
Yeah.
365 days out on the floor, exactly. And you're charging £15 for it and calling it local lamb from New Zealand.
I've done the Australia thing, and maybe it's a bit petty to point out that it was being sold for £11, not $15. But I'm sure Gordon wasn't just on about the wording of the menu, but the lamb having enough chemicals to kill off half of Oakhampton.
Let's just get one thing incredibly clear.
Yeah.
I am not the face of Booker.
Not the face of Booker. We'd better come back to that one.
I don't have a range of food in there.
But you're in their brochure.
You're factually incorrect. I'm not in their brochure, and I'm not representing them.
Yeah, I'd better come back to that one.
But they are selling it. Just so you know. You probably weren't aware of that. That's all I'm saying.
I'm totally aware of the fact they are selling it.
Oh, really? Okay.
But that's got nothing to do with me whatsoever.
Okay, but that's fine. Well, that's good. That's great. Well, just so you know.
Not in the brochure. At least that should be easy to check. I went to find out. The brochure at the time was for spring 2009.
I've just got the Booker catalogue here, and I'm just going to check. Oh, hello. Inside cover. Plain Speaking with Gordon Ramsay. Oh, page 61. Saving money in a tough climate. Gordon Ramsay takes us through some of his top money-saving advice. Well, certainly looks like Gordon Ramsay to me. Catering recipes by Gordon Ramsay. There's one there, smoked salmon and horseradish cream tartlets. Another one here, white onion soup with mature cheddar by Gordon Ramsay. And there's a photograph of Gordon, or somebody who looks very much like Gordon, up there in the top right-hand corner on each of those 9 recipes. If it's not him, then who on earth is it? I mean, what's it going to feel like when he finds out that somebody's been passing themselves off as Gordon Ramsay in the Booker catalogue, and it's not actually Gordon Ramsay? Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll have a look on the website.
The same mysterious Gordon lookalike seemed to be plastered all over the Booker website, with his name and the name of Booker appearing very close together. But then the summer 2009 brochure came out, and the Gordon lookalike had vanished, and he was gone from the website. I thought I'd better find out what had been going on.
Basically, I think somebody might be impersonating Gordon.
Sorry, what's he implying?
Well, I'm just saying that he's said to me that he's definitely not in the brochure. I've got the brochure. He's definitely in it.
Not in the current brochure at the moment. He's not in the brochure. The relationship that he had with Booker is at the moment is sort of on hold.
But at the time I was speaking to him, he was in the brochure, and I just wondered, if it's not him, is it somebody else?
Don't be ridiculous.
He might get quite angry.
At the time that he spoke to you, what he said was absolutely correct. He wasn't. I mean, there might be.
Well, it was the current brochure, to be honest. I mean,
how long did the brochure run for? I don't know.
Well, spring 2009.
Well, that's quite a long period of time.
It's just that he seemed like he didn't know anything about his association with Booker. I just thought it was unusual that he didn't know about it.
The point
but
that
it's his face.
Obviously trying to make was trying to sort of set him up a little bit for being something of a hypocrite. I think that was what he was responding to that. So I think at the time that he spoke to you, he was aware of the fact that his current relationship with Booker was on hold at that point.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Right, bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
So Gordon had put his relationship with Booker into a holding pattern, and for the time being will not be in the brochure. I'm sure that's absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with my discovery of the lamb shank Farrago.